I want to just say we need to celebrate them for not hiding and for not condemning themselves and for not being shy about their stories, because their stories can too one day help other young people. So I'm sitting here with, you said important teammates. Okay, I'm just going to be talking to you guys about your journey and just to find out how it all happened. Okay. Firstly, so a lot of young teens are getting pregnant. It's becoming more and more common. Why do you guys think it's happening so much?
I think it's happening because maybe from wanting to experience, and then when they get to experience, some of them, they don't know the use of protection. Yes.
I think that's because most of teenagers, they don't know the use of going to prevention. I think the best way to not get pregnant is go and prevent and also use protection. So I think most of them are scared of being judged, like when you go to a clinic. Yeah, I think they're scared to go to a clinic and prevent because they're still young.
Do you think though it's necessary to be preventing and to be taking such measures? Does that say you guys feel you are ready to be having sex at such a young age?
No, but then just for your safety, because now people are raping young girls out there, so you won't know what is going to happen next.
Yeah.
I
hear you, ladies. Okay, so tell me about your story. How did you fall pregnant? Just be comfortable, be honest. Your face is hidden, your identity is safe, so just tell us your story. We'll start with you.
Okay, I was in K10, picked my K10. Then I think it was during February. Yeah, I didn't see my period February. And okay, January, I went to my period twice. The first one was just a normal period, and the second one just like little spotting. Then I didn't notice. February, I didn't see my periods, so I decided to go to a clinic. When I go to a spine clinic, then the nurse just said to me, "Can you please go and take a pregnancy test?" I was like, "Why?" She said, "No, I want to see something." And then I went. We did 4 pregnancy tests. And I was like, "No, I can't be pregnant." She was like, "You are pregnant." I was like, She said to me, "Go home and think and make a decision, and you can't be next week." I was like, "Okay." I went home. Then I sent my boyfriend a message and I told him that I was pregnant. He said to me, "How serious?" I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "I'm coming back home now. And when I get home, come to me, we're going to talk." Okay, fine. I went to him, I told him that I was pregnant. He came with a pregnancy test, then he came positive. I was scared, but then he was happy. And then he told his...
How old was your boyfriend?
22.
And he was 16?
16.
Okay.
Then he told his family. Then his aunt was busy calling me, and I was running away every day. When she called me, I was going to run away every time. Then this other day, I think it was March, April. Yeah, the weather was like this, and at home they were cooking mukhod. And then that smell, I was just to feel dizzy, and I was feeling hot, but it was cold, and I fainted. And then my mom, she said to me, "Wake up," and I woke up. And then she said to me, "What's wrong?" I said, "I don't know." She took my bag, the one I put pads inside. She started counting, like 2 months I didn't use the pads. Why?
Sure.
And I looked at her and she said to me, "You are pregnant." I was like, "No." So that day.
Sure, okay, we'll come back to you. What's your story?
Okay, so like okay, let me start here. I didn't know that I was pregnant, but then at the same time, I was not using protection. So I was like, I got this. Okay, then as time went by, my mom was like, Ritumeti, are you going to your periods? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, but then why are your periods not getting finished? And I was like, I will go the next month, because like usually I don't go 1 month, I go the other month. And then my mom was like, okay, but then these days you've been craving for food. There's something weird about you. And I was like, whatever. And that time, it was the day that I broke up with my boyfriend. I was like, what if I'm pregnant? What's gonna happen? I was like, okay, it's fine. The other time my mom was coming back from work, and she called me and she said, come at the mall so we can go get some food. I was excited. I rushed to the mall. When we got there, she was like, let's go to the doctor. You don't look okay. I was having flu by that time, and we went to the doctor. When we got to the doctor, my mom explained to the doctor that my daughter is not feeling well. And the doctor was like, okay, what's the problem? My mom was like, she has caught a flu, but then can you please start with the pregnancy test? Okay, the doctor said, okay, it's fine. I took the pregnancy test, I tested, and it became positive. That day it was trauma, I don't want to lie. But then then my mom was like, Ritumets, I'm so disappointed. How could you do this to me? Because you know that I'm a domestic worker. Who's gonna support this child? And you know that you broke up with your boyfriend. And how are you going to manage? Did you know that you were pregnant? I was like, no. She was like, but you know the consequences. If you don't go to your periods, you know that something is going on. And I was like, I didn't know what to say. And the doctor was like, when last did you go to your periods? I was like, last month. I was lying. And my mom was, it can't be. Then the doctor said, get on the bed, let me check you. He took the sauna and he checked me. I was 5 months pregnant.
Sure.
And that time I was wearing like a crop top I was nice. When I got out of the room, I was hiding my stomach. My mom was like, Ritumeti, you know that like I just got married now and it's not your father. What am I going to say? We're going to do abortion now. I'm going to book for you now. And I was like, Mom, I can't do this, please. We went home and we spoke about this, and we tried calling my boyfriend. He didn't answer the calls, only to find out that he knew that I was pregnant.
Sure. So are you saying that he had planned it?
I would say that, because if he knew, he would have spoken to me about this. But then at the end, my mom was like, maybe he was scared. I was like, but then he should have told me that Ritumeti, this and this and this is happening. But then it happened.
How do you think he knew?
They say boys feel that they impregnated another girl. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm gathering from both of your stories is your mothers picked it up.
Yeah.
So what conflict did that bring about between you and your family? Did your relationship with your mothers change? Did your family start looking at you guys differently?
For me, they were very supportive throughout my journey. Yeah. They were supportive.
For me, they were at the start, they were supportive, but then the times were all the kids.
How old are your babies now?
Mine is 10 and 3 is 26.
And you are 19?
Mine is 1 year, 11 months.
And you are how old?
I'm 18.
Okay. So, what are the difficulties and the struggles that you guys are facing as young moms?
My struggles are when it gets to when I have to write my exams, yeah, like every baby needs attention, and it would be the time for me to study. So sometimes it becomes hard. Yeah, but so far everything is fine.
And when you were pregnant, what were the struggles you guys faced? Did you guys get bullied? Were you mocked?
I just told myself that I'm pregnant, and what people say, I don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna finish school because I know what I want in life. Yeah.
Sure, that's good. And you?
I also told myself that, one day is going to be fine. Doesn't matter what people say about me. As long as my family supports me, I'm going to be fine.
Even though like my baby daddy was not around, I just told myself that if he settled down, he will come back when it's time for him to come back. Yeah.
Okay, I hear you, ladies. Okay, so do you? Sorry, I just need a moment to. Do you guys see a lot of teen mothers finishing high school after falling pregnant?
No.
Because you did mention that when you're writing exams, it's a bit tricky for you to balance being a mother and going to school.
Yes.
So a lot of teen mothers don't finish high school. So what do you think is helping you guys to actually say, I'm gonna go finish school?
I think I told myself that because like even my mom is pushing me to go to school, and honestly speaking, she's there for me and my baby, and she provides us with everything. She has support for us in every way. Yeah, so she makes sure when it comes to school, like I'm always there. Yeah.
That's good.
My mom supports me, and also my baby daddy is always there. If I have to study, he takes the baby and I study. When I write exams, he takes my baby, then he sleeps with him.
Okay. Do you guys feel regret though?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
After knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently?
Differently is okay, even though I'm not sexually active now, but then like Rays of Hope has provided us with like some, let me say, some local clinic that comes every after 2 months and to us to come and prevent. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a good step. So would you suggest that a lot of teens should start using preventative measures?
Yes.
Okay. Besides school and so forth, do you feel you can continue with life as normal after falling pregnant?
Yes.
Your life is just normal?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about Rays of Hope a little bit. I like that you brought up that one of the things they do for you guys is that there's a nurse that comes to help you guys prevent.
Yeah.
But what other values that you guys are taught here?
They give us like the support for us to never give up in life. Yeah, they are there for us in every way, and they do support us with food parcels and nappies for the babies, wipes. Yeah, let me just not say everything, but then they are there for us.
They do support us a lot. Whenever you need to talk, they're there for us. You talk to them, whatever you need, they help you with it. Like that, like our family.
That's good, and I'm guessing you guys now also make friends with girls who have the same situation as you guys.
And I like to advise young girls. Let me just advise young girls concerning like the journey that I've been through. Yeah, to look out. Look out. Like, there's no boy who's gonna approach you and not tell you that you're beautiful. All boys are gonna come to you and tell you you're beautiful. And one thing that they're going to do to you, they're going to sleep with you and pregnant you and leave you like that. So they must watch out.
Are you guys listening? You guys must watch out.
Yes, they must.
Yeah. So then what, besides watching out, what other concrete advice would you give teen girls about boys and about, self-confidence and knowing your worth? I know that's something that's very popular now. And just knowing that I'm gonna wait for maybe marriage, because it's safer to fall pregnant in marriage, wouldn't you say? Because now you don't have baby daddy issues.
But then if they leave you,
in marriage,
because it does happen.
No, but I get it. After marriage, then they have to pay child support.
Yeah.
They have to, they are legally bound to this baby.
Yeah.
But like when it's outside, then it's a completely different story. So what advice would you then give these young teens on just knowing their worth and their value?
I would I'll advise them to just know their worth, know that they're beautiful. You don't need anyone else to tell you you're beautiful. Even if a boy comes to you and tell you that you're beautiful, you say, I know that I'm beautiful. So what do you want? You should just tell that guy to say it at that moment. He must tell you that he wants to date you. He doesn't have to come to you and always tell you that you know that you're beautiful. You should know that you're beautiful and you're worth it. Don't need a guy in your life in order for you to be beautiful.
I like that.
And don't depend on boys too.
Yeah.
To give you confidence.
Yeah. Just go to school and then
Also having hobbies and working on yourself.
Yeah.
And finding out who you are as a young woman before letting a man come in.
And just appreciate for what you have at home.
Yeah.
Because these days I find out that girls stand at the robots and they sell their bodies.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you like to say something? Continue. Okay. Okay, I want us to talk about the education system. So from the time that I was in school, the topic of sex was not as explicit as it is now. It wasn't as very clear and obvious as it is now. So what would you say has changed in the education system about what you guys are learning about sex and so forth? Do you think what they're teaching you guys is exposing you guys too much to sex and, desiring to, partake?
In a way, I think it does, but in a way, I think it helps.
Okay, but between then and now, and by then I mean maybe in the early 2000s and now, the teenage pregnancy rate has increased vastly.
As I said by the start, we want to experience
what you guys are being taught.
Yeah.
What are you guys being taught? What are you being told about sex at school? Just be honest. What are they saying?
We're taught that if you have sex, you get pregnant, but then you still go and have sex. It's like we do not believe whatever they teach us.
Yes.
It's like that. We don't. At school, they teach you, in order for you to not fall pregnant, you have to prevent or use protection. But then you go and have sex and you don't use protection.
And they tell us that there is STDs, but then I don't know, we're still going there.
I don't know what to say. Let's talk about STDs for a little bit, because I think that's also something that a lot of young girls are going through, and because pregnancy becomes more evidential that I had sex. STDs are those diseases that young people go through and they don't really talk about. Let's talk about it. Do you guys know anyone who has had an STD? Have you guys had STDs? What are your advices about STDs and so forth?
I don't know.
You guys don't? So do you guys talk about STDs with your friends and your age mates?
No, we don't, because like some are scared that we're going to judge them. So we don't discuss about it.
So there is a lot of secrecy and a lot of bullying.
Yeah.
Were you guys bullied when you were pregnant?
No,
wasn't. I was bullied by a teacher.
Sure.
Yeah.
What did the teacher say?
Like there was this story that was taught in a class and always she made an example of me.
It's good that we can laugh about it now, but I'm sure, how did that make you feel?
Like I didn't want to go to school anymore because when I saw that teacher always I was crying.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you did. I'm happy that you did keep going to school and you didn't give up. So let's talk about your future goals. What do you guys want to do after school? What are your plans and your plans for yourselves and your baby?
I want to continue with my further studies as now I'm in matric. So next year I want to go to university and study paramedic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
I want to go to university and study social worker, and also I want to be a motivator. I want to go around motivating young girls, tell them about my journey, and telling them to never give up in life. Yeah.
That's really good. Let's talk about one last important thing, your babies. What are your babies teaching you guys about life? Because I'm sure the difference between you and a teenager that doesn't have a baby is that you guys are getting a lot of wisdom from your children. What are you learning from your babies?
To always learn your responsibilities. Yes.
And how does it feel to have someone depend on you so much?
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's so hard because we are not employed yet.
Yeah, it's so hard.
And sometimes getting to know that my mom doesn't get a salary monthly, and that time the baby doesn't have nappies, so it's really hard. And the person that I made a baby with, he's not around.
Ish.
So it's stress.
Are you satisfied? Okay, it was a pleasure talking to you ladies. I hope that you guys get a lot more support, and I hope that Rays of Hope keeps helping you guys to, you know, I hope that Rays of Hope keeps helping you guys to find yourselves and to not give up and to hold on. I mean, giving birth to a baby is not the end of the world. It's the start of a new life. So I'm proud that you guys are, you know, soldiering on. And I hope that you are telling your age mates and those who are coming after you to just, you know, not go the path you went and teaching them the lessons that you have learned. But I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. And you want to thank Rays of Hope too?
Yes, and I want to thank you, girl. And I want to thank Rays of Hope too. Hey? Okay. And I want to thank Rays of Hope too for just doing this for you guys and for this great initiative. And I'm sure you guys are also meeting a lot of other great young moms and learning a lot from each other. Any last words from you guys?
No, say no matter what situation you face in life, never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up.
I'd like to say it's not the end of the world, and whatever you're facing, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, stand up and be strong. Yeah.
That's great. You see, you guys are now wise. Yeah. Girls your age don't talk like this. I'm happy for you guys and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's a big organization.
We are.
Yeah, you're very busy. Lots of programs going on a daily basis.
And lots of social workers, and the social workers are the biggest.
Yeah. How many social workers do you work with?
So I've got 25 under my department.
Are they on a permanent basis or is it volunteers?
So
or is it a mixture?
11 are permanent staff,
Yeah.
and 14 are on a stipend 12 months program.
Okay. So do you do like every year 12 months?
We actually want to keep the same, because with social work it's therapy with children and family, so sometimes it's hard to just remove a therapist when they've already started sessions with somebody, and it actually causes more trauma, so we want to keep the same people.
And so what after 12 months would be okay.
Like the support groups, the social workers run those support groups, and we've got a teen mom, the teen moms and pregnant teens, but we've got a teenagers one as well every Wednesday. So we've got 180 that come every Wednesday, and each social worker has like 8 of them in their group. So it's the relationship as well, is the trust that they've built with the facilitator, with the social worker. So we don't want the kids to think they're not important, and we're just changing people randomly. So
hopefully then they stay. So tell us a bit about the organization. When did it start? How did it start? Who started it? Why?
So Rise of Hope has been operating for 33 years now. So it started 33 years ago, and we started with the Saturday school.
Okay.
And what really prompted the guys who started it was they were doctors at the local clinic. And upon doing, checkings with the parents, with the children, they actually saw that there was a gap, a huge gap in terms of milestones for the children, learning, literacy and stuff like that.
Okay.
So they decided to start the Saturday school. And these were doctors' youths from Rosebank Union Church. So they started it then, and everything else has actually grown from that Saturday school over the 33 years. Yeah.
Wow.
So when they started the Saturday school, they realized, learning is not happening.
Yeah.
And why is learning not happening? There are actually barriers. And research, they started the Child-Aided Households program, which focused mainly on child-aided households, offering them support, food parcels, support group, home visits, and therapy. And from the child-aided households, we thought, you know what, we can't just deal with the child alone. Then we became more like a community engagement, in a community-based organization. We did a lot of programs within the community, which spread us thin. And we started the grannies. We started, like during COVID, we distributed over 70,000 food parcels to the community, and we were on the front line.
Wow. Sunday
to Sunday, we were working. We started then the gender-based violence section because of the gender-based violence. Then we thought, you know what, let's kind of come back on the table. What is it that we want to be known for? And we thought our main focus is going to be on the whole child.
Okay.
And the whole child, it means psychosocial support, educational support, family support, and even therapy. So with the whole family, we focus on the child in terms of education. But if there's family interventions needed, we involve the whole family. So we realized we were offering these children a safe space, non-judgmental atmosphere, respect, dignity, but they were still going back to the same toxic environment at home. gender-based violence, domestic violence, being called names, their parents who are dictators and they don't even want to hear a word from a child. So we then started the parenting workshops and parenting support groups where we are now teaching them positive parenting, positive discipline, because we feel the same attitude and acceptance in the same environment that they receive here. If they receive the same at home, then we are bringing up a generation that is whole, a generation that is dignified, a generation that is self-worth, a generation that is violent-free. Because what we've realized is children imitate what they see at home.
Of course.
And with our ECT,
and it becomes normal to them.
Bullying, aggression, and all
name
that.
calling, whatever it is at home.
So we were dealing with a lot of violence in the schools, a lot of violence within our programs, a lot of extremely sexualized behavior.
Okay.
Because the one rooms, what you see happening, you portray it at home. So now we really on track teaching our parents how to really behave and conduct themselves in the presence of children. So in a nutshell, that has been the journey for it.
So it's the whole family that you I'm gonna say serve on a daily basis. And in terms of your background, now you are heading this organization. What drew you to this kind of work? Did you study for it? What happened?
So, well, my background is in teaching. I was a teacher in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Came here in 2008, lived on the streets with my husband. Literally, you see those people who sleep under the bridge? Yeah, that was us. Then we ended up at the Methodist Church. Okay. So when I was there, that's when I saw a lot of the atrocities that are happening to young people, on the streets, thinking, wow, because that was something new for me. And when I got my job with the Department of Education in Soweto, I kind of got drawn to the youths. It was 1 year, and then in 2011 I joined Rays of Hope. I had no social work background, I had nothing. That's when I just fell more and more in love with the girl child. So I believed strongly, my calling and my passion was for the girl child and the woman, just to see them maximize their potential and grow into independence. But then I realized the boy child also needed that. And we started the boy support group, and I enrolled for my social work degree. I already had a teaching degree. I enrolled for a social work degree, qualified. Now I'm doing my master's in child and family studies so that I can focus more on child and family therapy, strengthening, preserving and stabilizing the family unit. Because during my stay in Rays of Hope, this place used to be a children's home with 96 children here. So over the years, the funders couldn't fund, and Rays of Hope could not sustain it. So they asked me and my family to become a foster family. So my husband and my 2 children and I moved into these premises, and we took on 10 teenagers. So we had 12 children. So for 5 years, we were a foster family living in these premises. So that actually gave me more love and more passion just to serve families and to see children grow up and thrive. So for me, that's
learn
my background.
And read. Wow, that's great work. That's you do a lot of great work. So today we're speaking specifically. I know that you do a lot of programs, but today we'll come back for the other ones. We're speaking about teenage pregnancy. You mentioned that there's a teen program. There's teen moms as well. So explain to us about the teen program, what you do there, and also the teen moms program.
So with the teen moms and the teen program, we kind of do similar things. With the teen moms, it just becomes more because now we're mentoring them and just guiding them and walking a journey with them to break the cycle of teenage pregnancy with the hope that we eradicate teenage pregnancy totally. So we focus, our first thing that we do every year is a vision board workshop and a personal development program. So with the vision board workshop is actually, kind of refocusing, you know, their visions. What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you achieved last year? What is it that you want to carry over this year, or, you know, drop down that you feel, you know, I wasn't doing so well, or this was a mistake? You know, it's more like self-reflection, where they have to be brutally honest with themselves. So from the vision board, we actually go now all throughout the year to say, this is what you put on your vision board. What steps are you going to take to achieve that?
At what time?
If it's living, you know, toxic friends, drugs, alcohol, or being sexually active, they put it on the vision board. So for others that have been sexually active or not, some of them actually like it. So we actually advise them to say, you know what is it that's going to make sense or be meaningful for your life? So they put it, we do issues of sexuality, STDs, teenage pregnancy, conflict resolution, anger management, you know, violence, all those topics. That's what we do. And even teaching them about their rights and their responsibilities. Yes, you've got rights, but you've got responsibilities. As well. So our main focus is to really move these teenagers from being entitled, from a moment or a notion of entitlement, disrespectful behavior modification, to where they can actually realize, you know what, yes, I've got rights, but I'm not entitled to anything. I as well have responsibilities, and I've got a part to play in making sure my family, my community, or my school is what would actually be attractive to other people.
And respecting yourself as well, I would imagine, respecting your body, because the world says, it's my body, it's my rights. But then, okay, do that, and then after that, what happens?
Corruption of character, you know.
Consequences.
Consequences as well. When you've got STDs, or you're pregnant, or HIV positive, or you become a teen mom, a teen dad, you know, or having multiple sexual partners, what does it do to you as a person? So those are the things that we talk about them. And we also run a contraceptive clinic through one of our partners. So every 8 weeks, they actually come and give the teenage girls the Nastrate injection, which has been certified safe for teenagers. So all the parents actually sign consent. They sign consent for the children, for the young girls to get. If you're a teen mom, it's compulsory. I'm sorry. You either you show me you're getting it at the clinic, or you're gonna get it here. Because I wouldn't want somebody to just get pregnant because of the grant money, or because a boyfriend is taking care of me, which is usually the case. You know, because my boyfriend is a taxi driver, he wants a baby, he's taking care of me. So my dreams, my passions aside, I'm gonna please this guy. So that's what we are trying to move them from. To say, you as a person, your identity.
Take care of yourself.
Yes.
So do you find that mostly, or it varies, the fathers, are they the same age as, you mentioned some are taxi drivers, I would imagine they are over 18, because that's when you get your driver's license. The fathers are much older, or is it mostly like same age?
No, much older.
Much older.
Yes, there are those cases where it's a pair, you know, maybe it's a grade 10 and a grade 8 or a grade 9, but in most instances it's older guys, like they're in their 20s and these are teenagers.
They take advantage.
And
you find that the background, maybe at home, the finances.
So
because
that's
of finances,
poverty. So a lot of the times, I'll give you an example. Some of the parents are not even fair on their children. They will actually say, we don't have food here. Go and look for food, or go and do something so that we can eat. So if it's a girl child, what exactly are you asking that girl child to do? Is going to prostitute themselves to bring money. So we had one parent actually say her daughter was 13, she got pregnant, gave birth when she turned 14. The mom is not working, they've got 2 grants. She comes here, asks for food, we didn't have food. She says to me, in my face, tonight I'm going to ask her to go ayopanda for umtanake, to go and look for money for her own child. Then I'm like, Mama, that's your daughter. If you're going to ask her to go and prostitute herself, that's on you. So you can't guilt trip me to giving you something because you know it's going to
that I don't have.
So even the parents, sometimes they do that to their children. They don't care.
And I see why then you deal with the whole family.
Yes.
Because then the teen mom would come here, but then when you get home,
it's the same
Humble to
words.
man.
Yes, it's the same words from your own mother or your own grandmother or your own father. And
That's
it's
helpful.
breaking for these young girls. Sometimes they get into these situations not because they want, but circumstances force them.
What's the youngest girl that you've seen that gave birth or fell pregnant?
13 that have been here.
Yeah,
but
that have
in the
been here.
schools, we've had even a 12-year-old fall pregnant, but we couldn't get those on our program because we felt they were too young.
Oh.
And it became now a case of the school trying to find, the appropriate help for them.
Yeah.
Because they're grade 7 and they are
What?
12. Yeah, grade 7, 12-year-old. And even these 13-year-olds were grade 7 and some were grade 8 when they fell pregnant. I mean, it's a baby having a baby.
Wow. It's painful to hear. It's painful to hear. So we are glad that we have this space that they come to. And I know that they receive lunch as well when they come.
So every program, we've got different programs running every day, including our ECD. So one of the things that we've really prioritized is nutrition.
Yeah.
Making sure we give them a proper meal. So it's either as, cooked or it's soup and bread, but mostly it's cooked like your rice, your pasta, your pap and your samp. And
that will fill you up.
Yes. And because for many of them, that's the only proper meal they have. When they get home, whether there's food or there's no food, at least they've eaten.
Yes.
So we make sure we give them a filling meal.
Wow. Do you work hand in hand with schools and hospitals to try and find these teens and these teen moms, or do they find you by themselves?
We work with all stakeholders. So a lot of our referrals have come from DSD, from the schools, from the clinics, and from the police.
Okay.
So we work very well. We are really, really having good relationships with them. So even when we used to give food parcels, the clinic would call us, DSD would call us. We're referring a client, please offer counseling, but what we've seen is maybe there's poverty, so that's why they're engaging in this. So we do our assessments as well, and then we offer them a holistic intervention. But our referrals all come from
different, that's good. So in the past years, maybe 2 years ago, we saw the education department wanting to introduce, so I'm not sure if they have already, the sexual education. Yes. I don't know that they introduced it yet, but very explicit sexual education. Do you think that fits to some of the pregnancies that you see in teenagers, that they want to experience and experiment?
So what has been happening really is lack of knowledge from many of those. Yes, there is life orientation, but life orientation is a specific curriculum.
Yeah, that's
so
different.
Parents as well in the home, it's taboo to talk about sex with your child in our black culture. So what we tell the parents as well here is nothing must be taboo to talk to your children about. So with the comprehensive sexual education, I believe, and probably the Department of Education believes as well, that it's going to reduce the need to experiment, is going to reduce what the kids would be exposed to, is going to give them proper knowledge. Because now the knowledge they are getting is probably from TV, media, street friends. I'm not sure if they've introduced it yet. I doubt, and I haven't been privy to what kind of curriculum it's going to be. But I'm hoping really that it's not going to drive the teenagers to want to experiment because of what they're seeing in the books or what they're learning at school. But it's actually going to lead to a reduction in all the experimenting. That's my hope.
That it educates.
Yes.
But it doesn't just introduce.
Yes. And leave it at that. And I'm hoping as well that even the teachers are going to be well trained to deliver.
If they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
So we spoke about that one of the reasons that some teenagers fall pregnant is because of poverty from in the home, those older men. And what are other reasons that you find? Is it friends or what other reasons do they find themselves in those positions?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
My friend is doing it, so I'm doing it as well. But I'm doing it without proper knowledge of protection. Lack of knowledge in terms of contraception and consequences of unprotected sex and consequences of just indulging in sex without knowing what exactly you're doing. So it's lack of knowledge on contraceptive, on the actual act of sexual intercourse. What exactly does it lead to? And also peer pressure and lack of knowledge about contraceptive. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, all the time is the treatment they get from the clinics. So I would rather just have sex without contraceptives, because when I go to the clinic and I'm a 13-year-old, the nurses are gonna shout and everybody's attention is drawn to me and they're gonna say words.
Embarrass.
Exactly. So the treatment that these teenagers are getting from the clinic is also a contributing factor. So the factors are really multifaceted, but they all lead to
the same outcome.
Yes, and that's why as Rays of Hope we've actually started our own contraceptive clinic.
No, we've all witnessed that. So what are the effects that you've seen? So let's say a teen mom 10 years ago, the effects of being a teenage mother on your life entirely. How does it affect one? Negatively or positively, mostly the outcomes?
Mostly it's negative, because as a teen mom, your life kind of comes to a standstill the time you are pregnant and giving birth, and a lot of them find it hard to go back to school, which is one of the things that we actually encourage them. You're pregnant, continue going to school until you're giving birth. You give birth, go back to school. So a lot of them drop out, a lot of them postpartum depression, and nobody is there to help them with that as well. Lack of money, lack of resources. So the poverty cycle continues. It's just a cycle that never ends, because now you're worried about food for the baby, nappies for the baby, yourself as well. So what is the, best situation or solution is go into relationships with older men. That is trauma as well, because these older men abuse you. So 5, 6, 7 years down the line, you are in your early 20s, you are growing into an adult with so many childhood wounds that are not healed, childhood traumas that are not healed. When you get into a permanent relationship or get married, you are a toxic somebody in a relationship.
Many issues.
Even with friends, even with family, you become a problem. But mostly you don't realize it, because it's the pain and the hurt that is inside that is speaking and behaving. A lot of them end up alcoholic, drug addiction, different types of addictions, because there are so many issues that have not been dealt with. And
they're trying to numb this pain.
So teenage pregnancy, to be honest, it hurts. It hurts, and it leads to so many problems in adulthood life.
And also it could be people that would otherwise be given back to society, economy. But because of all of these problems, then nothing really happens in their lives. So what would you say to a scared teenage girl out there? What would your message be to her?
So my message to any teenage girl, whether pregnant, not pregnant, or a teen mom, is sit down, look at your life. 5 years from now, where do you want to see yourself? And when you've clarified that, girl, get up, work, and achieve it. Nothing is impossible. The moment you put your all, you focus, and you are motivated and passionate about something with the right support, you can get there. And I'm saying Rays of Hope is here to support teenagers. Whatever support you need, the hand that can hold you unconditionally, non-judgmentally is here. And then you can get there.
And we thank you for that. And to that teenager, how do they get a hold of you? When they need you, they need Rays of Hope, how do they get a hold of you?
So this goes out to teenagers in the Alexandra township.
Yes.
Because that's where we are focused in. We are at number 2 Lupin Avenue in Marlborough Gardens. Number 2 Lupin Avenue, Marlborough Gardens. And our phone numbers are 011-656-1057. The other one is 011-656-0986.
And there'll always be someone there
to answer that phone.
Yes,
from 8 to 4.
Excellent.
Yeah.
We thank you for the work that you're doing. We see the impact, we see all of the programs that you're doing. All the best going forward.
Thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so much for coming to visit us and to see firsthand the work and, you know, just these beautiful young girls that come here.
I just wanted to go and hold those babies, but I had to hold myself back.
You should see all the social workers fighting for those babies.
But thank you so much. Definitely we'll be back, and we know that the viewers out there will grant their support because we see the great work that you're doing. All the best.
Thank you so much, and thanks to Inkosi Media. We really appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you for having us. Siyabonga.